are you there? Okay. Okay. Just moving on. We're still staying with KPA, but now we're just going to shift gears and move to the women. I know the women's team. They won the championship, and actually they had an unbeaten season the last time. And fun fact, the last time KPA lost a KBF game was in the 2022 finals against Equity. They have never lost a single KBF game. They won 22 and 0 and swept everyone in the postseason. They went to zone 5. True. They went to zone 5. They swept everybody. I honestly felt REG were that team that can be able to battle test them like that. But you know what happened. They beat them twice. And right now they're headed to Cairo for the Africa Women's Cup. So and also they have been just retooling their roster. But looking at with all those things in play, there's one thing that even I raised in a post. Do you feel it's okay for KPA to have players on their roster that played in the regular season and postseason, then get dropped for like an international assignment? I know team policies are different; they vary from team to team, but they get dropped and they bring in some mercenaries from outside to come and play. Do you think it's
Mm,
okay? And just to add on to that question is, do you think even the mercenaries brought in understand like the grind that KPA comes in, because they are new players, they're just being injected in the roster. They know the chemistry wise, you're not sure what you're gonna get. So what's your take on that, Steve? Because this thing has happened, and you know, yeah,
okay. About that, I think I would start with the men. What I just said for the men, I had just said that I don't really advise for short term plans, but then for the ladies, it's a bit different. If you look at the gap in skill in women competitions, East Africa especially, there's a very big gap from, let's say, the Akina Egypt, Akina Nigeria. There's a very big gap. So our ladies have not had enough experience to be able to play on that level. Now the team is not ready to get these people in that level. I would start by Brenda. I didn't see much of Brenda before she got to like the national stage and the Premier League. But Brenda was a solid, good player, a really good player who could depend on her international games. Now, the one lady I have seen progress to, I would say the stage she is Natalie. Natalie came to this stage a good player already. So she is uh, dependable on that high stage. She's been given all the experience. She's been given all the resources to get her like ready, get her in place, in position to be successful. But then I'm not sure if the team is as willing to develop the young people. And I would say that is one of the biggest issues that is going to really, really affect the women basketball. One, these ladies, I can tell you, they can barely, barely, barely play defense. Barely. Egypt will most probably swallow them, will just chew them. I don't know. The Egypt ladies just look so dynamic. When it comes to 5-on-5, they are usually like ready. Now, about the shooting, the 3 point shooting, our ladies are usually very good 3 point shooters. That usually helps us in big competitions. I am hoping they will be able to get their shot off. Dropping the shots, I am not worried about that. What I'm worried about is getting the shots off. When you look at the previous competition, the qualifiers, you would not one thing, and I think I've spoken to very many people about this. If you
yeah,
are running your offense using a play, you're really, really depending on execution. One very important aspect of execution is speed. How fast are you getting into your sets? You have set plays. You have to get into your set plays as fast as possible. Run them before the defense is even ready, knowing what is happening. You getting your first attempt. You probably can getting an offensive ball. But then if you cannot run you like it is just tunaenda tunafika pale okay tumefika sasa so tukifika I lift my hand up showing the running a play, then I go to the other side, give a handoff. That is not going to cut it. Nobody, no serious basketball team is going to give you all that time to set your play. You can imagine
Yeah,
what Greg was doing for us in the finals. Let me give you a very interesting scenario of what they were doing to us. If you really look at the game properly or the clip, you'd realize one thing. Reg was continually trying to understand our play. Okay, so this is what they do, this way, and trying to stop our play after they understand it, which is very, very difficult when you're playing defense and you're trying to learn the play and you're trying to say, okay, mpira itaenda hapa, ikienda hapa, I'll intercept. I can tell you, high level teams won't give you that. High level teams are going to do this. They are going to pressure you up the court from your baseline. They're going to come with you man to man. So how will we be able to execute those plays when someone is with us man to man from the baseline? It's going to be very difficult to get these shots. It's going to be very difficult to run these plays if we don't have space to like do the play. You would also realize that some of the people who execute for us, they just let's do it. We do this, and if you observe well,
yeah,
Medina is a gem. Nderitu,
yeah.
you sh- Medina is a gem. We had broken up plays which this lady just took the ball, took matters into her own hands, gave us a basket. She is a gem. She did a lot of work in that
She
game, which you
she
would not
cleans
really
up.
notice.
She
She cleans
cleaned
up
up.
after every
She
mess.
after a mess. Like let's say for example, when I was watching that game against Reg, when we botched a play, right? We jacked up a low percentage shot. She would go and just grab it and just take it back up. She used her size, used her power, used her height. Just takes it and puts it back in there, and just pile on the points like that. So that was the thing, right?
Yeah, I think she really makes our offense look effortless, look intentional when some of the things she just does them by herself, and it makes her teammates look good. But going for, I think what we should really look into is our defense because our defense is very worrisome. That's one. Two, one very important issue we should look into is how fast we get into our plays, how fast we get into our set plays. Because we came from a competition where really everybody was waiting for us to do stuff on offense. That is not going to happen. I don't think anybody is going to let us give us time to prepare and figure out what we want to do on offense. So that is something I'll be looking into so much.
Stevo, the KPA played in the Africa Women's Cup 2022. That was last year. I believe no end of November, December. And the teams that they
Mm.
matched up against, the zone one, zone two, zone three, zone four teams, were really schooling us. They really took us to school. Like, and when I look back at those games, I made my own game analysis and published them on this channel. When I looked at those games, right? Even you can take a play from that game and put it side by side with the plays that you have seen in zone five, and there's no difference.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
yeah,
The thing that I question much is, okay,
yeah,
we have won zone five, and given like the zone five basketball is not as competitive, I know we're just going to steamroll the same way KPN Equity steamrolled. We had a podium finish for both teams. So the thing is that I keep asking myself is there any progression or talent development when it comes to, like, even like the coaching staff. Does the coaching staff, even the coach, know how to design plays based on the matchup that is given, because you cannot play the same way against every single team, because that's what I've seen with KPA basketball. Every single game is the same when it comes to the women's team. Okay, let's who do we defer to? Okay, the shot is not coming from Natalie. Who do we go to? We go to the next option. We try Medina. The team figures out that you're feeding Medina the ball. They put the best guard
Yeah.
on her, or they put the best forward on her, takes her out of the game. What do we have left? We can't shoot the three ball. We can't make like good plays to draw like good shots. We get found out like that. So will that happen again? Because the same thing that happened last year
Ah,
might even happen this year again. So yeah.
I really have I have a lot of faith in the coaching stuff about creating plays, but I really have much less faith in the guys executing the plays. I think the guys are in a state where you have to give them one play. You just have to give them. Okay, I think it's been something that has been so much instilled in us. You can, for example, you can look at KPA men. KPA men have one play which they run the whole season. One play, one single damn play. It has a some some options, different options, variations. It's basically one plate, it's a skeleton, it's just one skeleton, and then there's a lot of flesh and fill-ups all around. So I don't know. I think it is the guys executing. Can you put a lot into their minds? Uh, I think we have to do a lot of film. That is one thing I would really want to see more of in our local basketball. Watch a lot of film. Watch a lot of your mistakes. Games are played and guys just okay. Hiyo tumemalizana, throw it to the trash can. Watch a lot of film. Watch a lot of execution. There's this one thing about to take you back a little bit. Thunder have this one nice play. The ball goes to the left, and then there is a screen. The guy who was running that play by that time. The guy who was the screener was Washira, and this guy just went there casually. I think there is a highlight of that play. I will pull it up for you and show you.
Okay.
So this guy goes there casually. You're supposed to set a screen so that someone can get open and get a shot off. But this guy is just going there. Okay, this is just a process that I have to go through and finish. Anaenda anapita, anasimama ile side yake akingoja okay mpira itaanguka kwa mkono wangu. Very, very poor execution. I think that is why we need to watch a lot of tape. KPA, I think this time remaining before the games, they should just go down, go sit, watch their games, watch their previous games, look into their mistakes. Okay, hapa tulifanya hivi. Will this cut it in the next level? Hapa tulifanya hivi. Will this cut it in the next level? Juu hakuna ujanja mingi. They just have to learn how to kufunga hizo loopholes because you're not going to hope that Egypt plays badly. You're not going to hope that any of the teams you're going to meet plays badly. We're going to
Like,
win by how well we do our stuff.
like Egypt is the team that schooled us in Zone 5 in the Africa Women's Cup was a Sporting from Egypt, and they did it so effortlessly. It's like they knew, it's like they knew they saw its KPI. I was like, ah man, easy team. They were just going so easily
Easy
to the
money,
shot.
light work.
They were like, even the thing is, the crazy thing about a Sporting versus KPA last year, they didn't even have to go out of first gear to beat us. Like I'm telling you, like they were just gear one. They just at gear one,
That is
and we
what
are playing
happens
at
when
gear.
things come for you.
They didn't even move at gear one. We were playing at gear five, but them they were just gear one, and they're just
Yeah,
beating
one
us.
light work. Uh, yeah,
I
that's
mean that
going
was,
to be a challenge. It's going to be a big challenge.
man. I mean there's so much, man. But hey, I mean there's so much excitement, especially finishing off the year. This is the last FIBA tournament. It was this 3x3, then this Africa Women's Cup. Then we just close out the year and
Yeah,
just close just close out the year strong, man. I mean, there's just so much that has happened this year alone. Because we, if I was even thinking of just highlighting like even in a video, just talking about like what has happened throughout the whole year because
yeah,
we've had so
sure.
many things.
Give a summary.
And also, just talk about Medina. I feel like she has had the most exposure in the past. I can say in the past like year, in the past like even like 15 months. Because remember, she played in the Commonwealth Games. She played for the
Yeah,
Lioness team. She went to the Nike Hoop Summit. She played in the Hammamet Games in Tunisia. She played in the Algeria Nations League 3x3. She played in the
yeah,
Poland Games 3x3, and she also played in this series. And also, KP are going to use her next week. So name me another player that has had that much exposure. I don't know. Like
I don't know.
there's so
I would say Hilda. I would say Hilda. Has a quite a wealth of exposure when it comes to international games. I remember at one point in time she was the 3 point champion. Can you remember African 3 point champion? I think she was at one point in time, right?
yeah, and also she played in the Commonwealth Games last year. So yeah, I
Ah,
mean,
exactly.
even for him, the player that you're talking about, played in the
Yeah,
Commonwealth Games. He was there in the 3x3. So man, the players, even when you even like you bring them up and you're talking about them, we
yeah,
have so much data on them, both film wise, statistics, all the whole 9 yards. We have everything. So even when we like we come up with like a take on them, it's facts.
yeah.
It just comes from data. Like data runs everything. Because you have data and you have like the film, the stat sheet, all the things,
Everything,
play by play.
everything.
We check everything frame by frame. We already know who this player is even before they set up the foot. Even if they're going to another team, we can tell you what you're gonna expect
Yeah, exactly.
from. Yeah, so